May 5th, 2004, Chesapeake Bay. Fishermen are out on their boat. For them, the day starts as normally as every other day, when they suddenly notice a dark-colored suitcase floating in the water. They decide to pull it up and open it, thinking it might be a lost treasure. But little did they know that they would find human legs inside the suitcase, wrapped in black garbage bags. Shocked by their discovery, they informed the local police, not knowing that other suitcases were to follow. Hello and welcome to a new video of Obscuro. Suitcase 2, May 11th, 2004. 6 days later. A student is walking along the beach, immersed in thoughts, when he suddenly sees a dark, dirty suitcase on Fisherman's Island. He approaches the bag, noticing it to be also dark-colored, leaving already a smell of decomposition. The student was too afraid to open the suitcase, since he heard about the other incident, thinking this might have to do with the other found suitcase. The student sent the suitcase immediately to a medical examiner for further investigation, already suspecting that something was very unusual about his finding, but still wondering what's inside the suitcase. What they found inside turned out to be a nightmare. The suitcase contained a torso, only a torso without arms and legs, and next to the torso they found something which could push ahead the whole investigation. A head which showed bullet wounds in it. The torso showed 2 bullet wounds in the chest. The medical examiner could identify that these pieces and previous found legs belonged together. But the discoveries shouldn't stop there. 5 days later, a third suitcase was found on the beach, washed up to the shore, and in it, 2 arms, nothing more. The killer must have used an electric saw in order to dismember the body, and the question arises, whose body parts were these? Who was dismembered in such a brutal way? And who was behind all of this? Soon the police intensified their investigation. They started looking for persons in the area who went missing in the last weeks, and since they had the actual head of the dead person, they created, with help of a drawer, a composite sketch, which they released immediately to the public, due to the fact that the victim wasn't carrying any identification. In this sketch, they reconstructed the face of the found head. The picture shows a middle-aged man with short hair and rather big cheeks. They didn't have to wait long for clues. Just a few days after the police got a tip from persons who identified the person on the sketch as their friend, William Bill McGuire, who was missing since a couple of days. Now let us talk about who was William Bill McGuire. He was born on September of 1964. He was described as a sincere, nice and charismatic guy with a good sense of humor. He began working at a restaurant where he would meet his future wife, Melanie. They were totally smitten with each other as friends described and began dating soon. Bill continued his career in the US Navy, where he worked as a computer programmer. Meanwhile, Melanie would become a nurse at a fertility clinic. They eventually got married in 1999 and later had 2 children together. Friends said it was almost like a perfect marriage. They seemed happy and very much in love. In April of 2004, Bill and Melanie were married for 5 years. They had just bought a $500,000 home in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Melanie stated that a few days before Bill went missing, they really got in a bad fight concerning their new house, in which they were supposed to move in on April 28, which didn't happen. Bill rather wanted to move to Virginia Beach and was upset that they had already settled on this house instead. Melanie claims that shortly after their fight, Bill had smacked her with an open hand and shoved a dry sheet in her mouth, stating further that this wasn't the first time he had hit her. So, did Bill have a brutal character? Was he capable of hurting his wife? Did Melanie maybe act in self-defense by killing him? Is she innocent? Why do Bill's friends accuse her of his death? A strange coincidence that after this incident, Bill went missing. The New Jersey State Police deepened the investigation and found evidence against Melanie almost right away. The prosecution alleged that Melanie drugged Bill, shot him, and dismembered his body. Evidence against Melanie. On April 26th, Melanie bought a gun in eastern Pennsylvania, which was a .38 caliber with some bullets called wart cutter bullets. Interestingly, the same bullets which were found in Bill's torso. Even the gun shop owner remembered Melanie, since not a lot of women would purchase guns these days. He also stated that she filled out a form and that she said she worked as a nurse. On April 30th, 2004, Bill's car was found in Atlantic City, outside of a motel called the Flamingo Motel. Only some days after his disappearing, Melanie claimed that Bill had a gambling problem and would drive to Atlantic City every now and then. However, the police could recover some security footage which showed Melanie moving Bill's car. She got into the passenger side and seemed to have had an accomplice, which they couldn't identify on the security tape. Was it Bill himself? But why did he leave it at the motel? Why did he never return? The next evidence revolves around the found suitcases. The suitcases that Bill's body was found in turned out to belong to the McGuires themselves, and that it was a 3-piece designer set. Did the killer rob these suitcases? No traces of people trying to get into the house were found. Additionally, they found fibers on Bill's body that matched the sofa that they had standing in their living room, which shortly after his disappearing had gone missing. Finally, a medical-grade towel was found with Bill's body, matching the towels at the clinic in which Melanie used to work in. But of course there was one last piece of proof to make her look even more guilty. Melanie was having an affair with a doctor at her fertility clinic, whose name is Dr. Bradley Miller. The affair had begun when she was pregnant with her second son, being still married to Bill. It seemed like she did not feel much love for Bill anymore. After Dr. Miller found out what his lover had presumably done, he had no other choice. Later in the trial, Dr. Miller testified and confessed that he had been working with the police to get her to confess over the phone calls, which were recorded by the police. In these phone calls, she even joked about killing Bill, and it seemed like she had no emotion over the fact that her husband was dead. The trial. During her trials, it was further revealed that chlorohydrate and a syringe were found in Bill's car. Chlorohydrate is also known as a knockout drug, and it was purchased the day Bill went missing. There was also evidence that Melanie had taken a page from Dr. Miller's prescription pad and forged his signature for the knockout drug. On April 23rd, 2007, Melanie was finally found guilty of first-degree murder. On July 19th, 2007, Melanie was sentenced to life in prison. At that point, she was 34 years old. She still claims she's innocent, stating that Bill owed money to the Atlantic City casinos, which led the mob to killing him. A brutal case. Children are left behind who now have to grow up without a father. What do you think about this case? Do you believe Melanie that the mob from Atlantic City Casino killed Bill? Or do you agree with the verdict? Let me know in the comments. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please be so kind to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have further cases you would like me to discuss, leave a comment down below. Until next time, remember to be kind to one another. Bye!